You've been told to engage your core to protect your back. Some of you might be sucking the belly in the name of core engagement, and some of you might be bracing in the name of core strength. But none of us have been educated on the actual feeling of an engaged core. Your core is not limited to your abs, and having a six-pack doesn't mean you have a really strong core. In this video, I explain to you the mechanics of the core and what does it feel like to have an engaged core, and how can you build the strength in your core in a way that is not only supporting your back but also supporting your entire postural system to be able to move more efficiently and effectively. Hey, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Hedy Shah. I'm a body worker and a mindfulness teacher, and I teach change makers to uncondition their bodies, their nervous systems, and their voices from systems built to keep them small, so they can stand, speak, and move through life with sovereign power. If sovereignty is one of your values in life, this is your place. Most people think about core engagement in these three categories. Number one, they feel like they need to be sucking the belly in for better core engagement. Number two, they feel like they need to be bracing as if someone is punching them in the belly. Number three is holding tension as they're moving through life. Neither of them is giving you the full story into what an engaged core actually feels like. A strong core is a core that can easily create intra-abdominal pressure from inside out 360 degrees, depending on what kind of load you're working with. For example, if you go for a walk, the intra-abdominal pressure you're experiencing is very different than if you were to lifting 100 pounds of weight in a deadlift. It's really important to understand that a strong core is not limited to your abs muscles. So many people with six-pack have lower back issues, and having a six-pack doesn't mean that you have the strongest core muscle. Six-packs are only one of the elements of your core system. Other parts of a strong core are your diaphragm, your pelvic floor, your obliques, as well as your spine stabilizers. It's a 360-degree mechanism for you to have a strong core. And these muscles need to be coordinating with each other effectively and efficiently for you to have that stable core. One thing connects all of this together, or set the tone for how your core muscles as a whole working together, and that's your breath. And how your breath expands your diaphragm, and how your diaphragm initiates the whole system to create that cylinder, that 360-degree expansion for an effective movement. When people suck their belly in the name of core engagement, what they're actually doing, they're stealing the opportunity from their diaphragm to descend down and create that pressure in the system. Those who are breathing all the time into their chest, they also don't create that nice expansion and contraction in the diaphragm. And those people who are walking, bracing all the time, or imagining that, feeling like if someone was punching you, then you would be doing that. So that's part of the story. We need that 360-degree expansion. So we need that pressure forward, to the side, and to the back. A real core support is a responsive system that has the ability to change the pressure depending on the load that the system is dealing with. Now that we fully understand that, it's time for me to show you some exercises to start getting the diaphragm moving, getting the breath initiate that core engagement, and then give you some exercises that can support you in creating actual core strength. That is not a bunch of crunches or terribly formed planks. Rather, it's a way for you to create that cylinder once again. Now let's start in a lying position, feet on the floor. And you start breathing into your belly, expand your belly as big as you can. And then also feel that pressure of the air pushing your spine back as well. Now get into a lying position, feet on the floor, and then you start by Breathing all the way into your belly, expanding your belly as big as you can, and allow that expansion to get so big that you also feel pressure towards the back of your spine as well. So breathe in. Get as big as you can and feel the pressure being 360 degrees. Hold it for a couple of seconds. Feel all the muscles in your pelvic floor expand and relax. And then now you're exhaling out, blowing as if you're blowing into a birthday balloon. You're completely empty, empty, empty for about 8 seconds. Feeling everything coming down and in. Now we repeat that. Inhale, get everything nicely expanded, not only in the front, but also to the side, but also to the back. And then full exhale out. Completely empty. When you feel like you're completely empty, maybe push the air out a couple more times. So you're really feeling that your ribcage is hugging you in. Let's do that 2 more times. Breathe in. Again, 360-degree pressure. Full exhale out. One more. And relax. Now you're breathing into your diaphragm, no longer into the belly. So the belly remains nice and relaxed. We softly inhale, getting the diaphragm expand forward, to the side and to the back, and then full exhale out again. This time, keep the rib down and in. So as we're breathing in, we're no longer losing this contraction, okay? Soft inhale. Full exhale out. Feeling the rib coming in. Maybe you can pause and hold that emptiness for 1 or 2 seconds. And then again, soft inhale. Full exhale out. Keep it down and in. Pause for a second. No air is coming in, no air is coming out. And then let's go for 2 more. Soft inhale. Naturally, when we're squeezing everything in the front and keep it nice and anchored, so we start feeling the air going into our back rib more. Full exhale out. Now rest. This is a progression to the other exercises that I already taught you. If those exercises were already difficult for you, then spend more time on that before you progress. Get into a tabletop position. Shoulders over the wrist, pelvic floor over the knees. You push the floor away from you and having your shoulder blades moving to the side. I didn't say round. What I did say is creating as much space as you can in the back of your rib cage by moving the shoulder blades as far away as you can from your spine. Ideally, make sure that you're creating pressure throughout your whole hands, including the inner part of your hands. And tuck those toes under you. You start by softly inhaling. Full exhale out. feeling everything coming together. The next progression is you're going to push the ground away from you and then lift the knees and hover. So you stay in that nice neutral spine position. I'm not arching. I'm not losing that upper back. I'm keeping everything nice and stacked. Soft inhale into that back rib. Full exhale out. You can either hold this position, or if you're just beginning, you rest. Take a moment here. Again, push back up. Soft inhale as you lift. Full exhale out. Drop, rest. Again, soft inhale. Lift up. Soft inhale again. Lift up. Full exhale out. And let it go. The next progression for this exercise is learning to hold that tabletop position for 5 rounds of breath. And when you make progress into that, then make that to 10 rounds of breath. I love this exercise to create 360-degree intra-abdominal pressure, which is something that I teach when I get people to start lifting heavier, like doing heavier deadlift or squats or things like that. So lie down on your back. To fill up our whole torso with the air, inhale from the base of your pelvic floor, bring the air all the way up. Hold it on the top, and now you want to imagine that you've got a belt around your whole core muscles, and you start creating 360-degree pressure all around you. Not only forward, which is oftentimes is the easiest for people, but also feel it to the side and to the back. And then now, this might be enough for so many, just holding that for 10 seconds, 20 seconds, all the way to 1 minute, and let it go. And the next progression would be inhale, create that nice pressure, and then lift up, knees over the pelvis, arms nicely reaching, and you're just going to create that intra-abdominal pressure, and you start feeling that pressure all the way down into your pelvic floor. And hold it again for 10, 20, 30 seconds to 1 minute, and then drop it down. So the next progression of this, getting into that position, create that nice intra-abdominal pressure, and then you're going to the edge, hold it, but then see, I'm losing that. So when you're losing that, you went too far. You want to improve your ability to maintain that intra-abdominal pressure and slowly improve how far you can go. So again, going back, inhale, create that intra-abdominal pressure, and then we're shifting to one side all the way to the edge. Hold it for a couple of seconds. You see your whole body start responding to that, and then come back to center. Again, inhale, create that intra-abdominal pressure, maintain that pressure as you're going to the other side. And then slowly come back to center. So keep that going. Inhale, create that intra-abdominal pressure to one side, nice and control. Come back to center. Intra-abdominal pressure. Go to the other side, nice and control. And then you can rest. Thank you so much for joining this core class, and if you enjoyed that, make sure that you subscribe down below and let me know which of those exercises was the hardest and which one of them you will be sticking to build your strong core. If you enjoy my work, make sure that you subscribe to my Substack, Unconditioned Movement, for deeper wisdom coming to your inbox. And if you want to work with me one-to-one and you need extra support, make sure to check out the details in the description box below and how to get in touch. Have a beautiful rest of your day.